Good morning. Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on Twitter at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching this morning for today, Saturday, the 24th. I believe the way it breaks down, we have a 10-game slate during the day and then a 4-game evening or main slate. I think DraftKings actually refers to the evening as its main slate. But let's take a look at some pitching options. My first look at the weather. Shouldn't be much weather to worry about. Plenty of solid hitting environments, some warmer temps, some slight winds blowing out, that sort of thing. So maybe that plays a factor, but I don't think it's going to as much just because there's so many spots. I think we're just going to have to take the best pitching available for us. So let's get started here with the day slate. James Paxton taking on the White Sox. Paxton has been really solid this season. Kind of surprising to me that he's kind of made his return and been so strong. I like him here again. Taking a look, it looks like he is a minus 115 favorite in this game. Strikeouts are there. He's actually some ground balls as well. Really solid. I don't mind him. I do struggle with the idea of paying, 10.3K for somebody like Paxton, but he's just been really good for us. Merrill Kelly been absolutely spectacular. Run prevention on the road. Strikeouts are better at home. He is undefeated on the road, which is really nice to see. San Francisco generally, obviously, a bigger ballpark. It does play smaller during the day, but not anything extreme. He is a minus 115 road favorite in the game. So I think I actually would prefer Kelly to Paxton right now. Obviously, pending the lineups we see. The Giants do have a dangerous lineup. They do have a lot of left-handed bats with some power. So there are some worries with the matchup, but Kelly's just been so strong that I don't have a problem going with him over Paxton. Jose Berrios, a minus 285 home favorite against the weak Oakland offense. Pitching at home where he's been absolutely dominant. Would like to see his K numbers increase some, but he's just been really strong. I would guess that he's probably going to be the chalk of the spend up options on this slate. No worries going there. I know Bassett didn't exactly get it done against Oakland last night, but I don't have a problem going right back to a pitcher against the A's. John Gray, phenomenal on the road, taking on a tougher Yankee squad. But I say tougher, that's just kind of, we just automatically think the Yankees are just good. Right now, they really aren't. Texas is a minus 145 favorite. It's taking on Luis Severino, who has really struggled. Gray is coming off of a pretty rough start, but that was against a tough Toronto squad. Prior to that, he had been spectacular. I do not have any issues using John Gray. I think I prefer Berrios. Might prefer Kelly to John Gray. I'm gonna have to dig in a little bit more. Gray's gonna face a weaker lineup with the Yankees than Kelly will against the Giants, so there is that part. Bryce Miller experienced some hiccups, but he's bounced back the last two starts with really strong starts. Obviously, much weaker opponents than Baltimore, but I do like the upside. The main thing for me though is he's really picked on the weaker teams. He did do strongly against Houston, um, but all of his strong performances have been against Oakland, Detroit, Oakland, then Miami and the White Sox. He did get lit up by a weaker Yankees lineup, lit up by Texas, and then struggled a little bit against Atlanta. Even though the start against Atlanta wasn't too bad, it was a quality start. Uh, I'm interested, but he is a road dog. Baltimore is a minus 115 favorite, so he's kind of somebody that's potentially in use, but I'll have to see how the my pitcher pool breaks down as the day goes on. Freddie Peralta, far better at home, so being on the road is worrisome, but it is Cleveland. I don't really think too highly of their offense for obvious reasons. Uh, Taking a look at the Vegas line here, Cleveland is a minus 120 favorite. Game total sits at just 8. Uh, Wind blowing in from center in Cleveland. It's actually one of the better pitching environments on the slate. So uh, maybe mix in some Peralta. I don't want to go too heavy on him just because he has struggled mightily on the road. Uh, but I still think he's viable. Max Scherzer dominated Philadelphia the first time he faced them. Hasn't been very good on the road. Home runs are way up, so that's a worry. But his last road start was electric against Houston. I am interested enough in Scherzer. Maybe some of it is just name value. I hate to admit it, but he is a minus 130 favorite. We know that the Philadelphia offense can be potent, but we also know that they can go silent really quickly. Uh, Scherzer did shut them down, so he's shown that he's capable. He has 30 plus DK points in 3 of his last 5 starts. Uh, I don't mind Scherzer one bit. Dean Kramer, I keep waiting for the Seattle offense to just explode and go on some sick run. They really haven't been. Kramer's going to allow a run or 2 or 3, but he still seems to be getting things done. So he does have a higher whip. That is worrisome. Allowing that many base runners, bad things can happen. His K numbers at home aren't as strong, but he's kind of another one that falls into the Freddie Peralta, Bryce Miller range where I don't mind having to use them, but most likely I'm going to try to remove somebody from my pool, as I tighten it up as the day goes on. Tanner Bibby, a pitcher against the Brewers, so I'm automatically interested. Like I mentioned, under Peralta, Cleveland is a minus 120 favorite. Bibby has been phenomenal pitching in Cleveland. I did mention that the wind is blowing in from center field, so it is one of the better pitching environments. So Bibby hasn't looked great the last couple, but I think it's a chance for him to bounce back and get going. Obviously, his last 2 starts were on the road, so that plays into the home road splits as well. I think 8,100 on DK is a very solid price, so I do like the upside in the spot. So Bibby is firmly in my player pool. Zero interest in Lance Lynn. I'm just not going there. Mentioned, with Paxton, the Red Sox are favored. Lance Lynn's just allowing a ton of runs. His home numbers are just absolutely atrocious. There's been a lot of talk about him being part of in the trade deadline and people acquiring him. I just don't know if I'm a fan of a team. I want them to go out and get this version of Lance Lynn. Doesn't really intrigue me. He's coming off of a 16K performance, season high in pitch total. Did get an extra day of rest, but I'm just not. I'm not going there. That means I'm going to have to be on the Boston bats because I just think this is a spot for Boston to explode against whatever it is that Lance Lynn is right now. Oswaldo Beto has looked solid. Even this allowing 3 runs in the 6 innings, he actually looked really solid out there. Taking on a weaker Miami squad. Looks like Miami's a minus 160 favorite. So being a road dog, not exactly exciting, but he could be a viable option. I don't know a ton about him. His K numbers have been strong at the major league level. Walks can be an issue. He's throwing 90 to 100 pitches in both starts, so he probably becomes viable in that matchup. Luis Severino not going to make it for me. Obviously, he's taking on Texas, but he's just allowing runs. He doesn't look as sharp. There could be something wrong health-wise again. He's just been dealing with issues for multiple seasons now. he's somebody that I'm sliding into the I'm gonna fade until I see it turn around category. I'm not gonna try to be ahead of the field and get him when he does figure it out. That is worrisome because he is somebody that will figure it out at some point and put up some dominating performance. Um, I just don't know when, and I'm not willing to continue to throw money at him uh, in hopes that that happens. Hoying, like I mentioned, Miami is a favorite here. I don't think we can use him. Um, he obviously started out in the rotation, making starts, went to the bullpen. Now is moving back into the rotation for right now. Um, I don't know that he's going to throw enough pitches. I mean, if he comes out and dominates like he did against Toronto in relief, um, sure, even if he gets to 70 pitches, then he goes five plus innings, he could definitely pay off. But I just don't know if we can do it unless they come out and say that he's going to throw 80 plus pitches and he's good to go. But I don't think we're going to get that information. Mr. Sanchez uh, has looked solid. I just don't know if I want to use him against the Mets. Not that I think the Mets are elite in any way, but I just don't really think we want to go there. He's somebody I'll kind of look into as the day goes on a little bit more. But nobody really down here excites me. I'm a Chernos fan, but like he just doesn't have K numbers despite throwing hard. I could see mixing him in against this Kansas City squad, especially at home. He's been absolutely dominant. Uh, but again, I just don't know. He's probably a better option than like Hoying. He did throw 90 pitches last time out, got an extra day of rest, so he should be good to go. Uh, so maybe if you go that route, like I can understand it, but I might not get there. So looking at the main slate here, we got Blake Snell against Washington. Excuse me. Um, Snell's been absolutely dominant, just on a ridiculous run right now. Uh, Gonna gladly take him. 30 plus DK points in four straight starts. No doubt about that. He's the top option. Pablo Lopez on the road has been much better with the Twins. Strikeouts are there the last couple. He has allowed some runs, which is worrisome. But to me, he's the clear number two option on this slate. Actually, it doesn't even look like Blake Snell starting. Should probably look into that. He won't start. He just started a few days ago. My bad. San Diego has not announced a starter by the looks of it, or it's a minor leaguer. It looks like from what I'm seeing. Um, so we'll look at these other teams quick. Uh, Pablo Lopez is the number one option then, so scratch that. Uh, Bobby Miller certainly strong. Was lit up in his last start, but before that was absolutely elite. The Houston lineup isn't as dangerous as normal, so I'm interested. Um, I don't really have a lot of interest in anybody else on this four gamer, to be honest. Griffin Canning has looked decent, but he's pitching in Coors. Maybe he's an option. Josiah Gray can be dominant, but like the San Diego offense has woken up a little bit. Reese Olson might have some upside with the Minnesota strikeouts, uh, but he can get lit up as well. So maybe Reese Olson is the GPP winner on this four gamer. We'll know more as the day goes on. But a little longer video. I hope you enjoyed what it brought to you. If you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos at DFS Army. If you want to join us, I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ for 10% off your monthly membership or Summer50 for 50% off your first month. So as always, best of luck, everybody.